No. We can forgive you.
Please. Okay, let's call order the Rivergrove Water District public hearing at 7:36 a.m. Oh, we're on, right, DJ? We're on?
Yep.
Correct.
We're on.
Okay, so first item on the agenda is the 2014-15 Rivergrove budget to adopt. Any discussion? There's no public hearing, by the way, for the record.
I just put, like I told you at the water rate hearing, the 29,000 on the grants. I put the 27,000. And another thing I changed was the printer. Where is it? Postage and shipping, or is it printing and duplicated? Oops. That should be 3,500 under printing and duplicating. We've been putting and I took off the CCR down there and put it back to 0. We've been putting it into printing and duplicating, so number 5 would be 2,000, number 6 would be 3,500. And then that's not any kind of change in expenses, it's just moving it. And you see page 5, under line 19, that's where I put the 27,000 in case we get the grant from source water protection.
When will we hear about that?
I don't know.
So where do we make up the difference in 27 grand?
The first page.
Well, that's the 29.
Yeah, that's the 29,000.
So we're assuming we're going to get grant revenue.
Yeah. Assuming.
In today's meeting, we've got that grant for $1,500, right? And that's a matching grant.
Right.
So how do we account for the $1,500 that we're gonna?
We just put it under miscellaneous.
So we need our match?
Yeah.
Actually, we do have a line number 3. For grants, we have.
Because we're already matching it.
Yeah, we're already matching it because the payroll is matching it. So
Right, but they're matching our 1,500, right?
right.
So we're
getting the 1,500.
so we've got a cost of 1,500, really.
No.
It's the cost we already spent money on. So we'd have to take 1,500 from payroll and put it on a different line item to do the line match with the grant.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Because we're already paying him.
It's a labor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's it. Anyway, gotta get all the changes discussed. And the other one was under the capital improvement fund. If you see number 12, it's SDC water loan.
What page you on?
9. Number 12 was approved for the budget committee for $400,610. That was 10 years worth of payments, but I put the amount we're going to be paying, 40,061, and then the rest under reserve for future SDC costs, which is just putting in an unappropriated balance, which is actually lowering expenses, so that's not a problem. So those are the changes since the budget committee.
So the 40,061, that's what we're going to be using this year.
Right.
Okay.
Those are the changes since it's been approved by the budget committee. And really, the only thing increasing the expenses was the grant, the source water protection. It's not, we don't know yet, if we're gonna get it, but it's there.
That'll be washed though.
Yeah, it'll be a wash because you get it on the other side. That's my discussion.
And remind us, after the budget committee approves, we can make adjustments, we can't change, well,
You can
You can do it.
you can make up to 10% change of expenditures.
okay.
We're not, there's no way we met that. In fact, we reduced them with putting that in.
So we're fine with that. All right, any questions or further discussion on those changes?
I think we've kind of made this enough times.
This one.
So I would move that we approve, adopt the budget as amended.
I turned.
Motion, do we have a second?
I would second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt the budget as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So that is number 2. Actually, have we done that then? Or do we have to do a separate?
You have to
action?
approve the resolution, which
So we
is,
adopted the budget. This is the resolution backing those things. It's been checked and cross-checked by our crack team of experts. So, any comments on the resolution? Nope.
Is that what's in here?
that's the,
This is the rate?
Here's the actual resolution.
that's the
one
previous,
signed?
Well, actually, the one behind are not.
There's got, yeah, there's got to be
Yeah.
that one.
There are multiple.
that one's the rate one that was passed at the water rate hearing, but it's got the typing in it rather than, just writing.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve resolution 2014?
So
I
moved.
think you already did that, didn't you? Sorry.
Second.
No, we didn't.
Sorry, okay. Moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2014-02. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So, motion 2014-02 passes. And I will sign that one. And we have a budget.
Yay. Actually, I'll just send this one up because
You sign it. Okay, so let's adjourn the public hearing then. It is 7:44. And we will call to order the regular monthly board meeting at 7:44. Public comment, no public available, so let's move on to agenda item 3 or tab 3, minutes for the May 22nd board meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of May 22nd.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the May 22nd board meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Jerry was
Sure,
absent.
what is that? Okay. Move on to tab 4, the June 4th meeting minutes. Comments?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the June 4th water rate hearing minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
All right, moving right along to tab 4, district report, DJ. Tab 5, excuse me, district report.
Okay. Well, you got the information about the internship grant, so that was good. We finished that. Our master plan's been approved. The paperwork's in there. They reduced the assessment monitoring for 12 months on well 2, and we're back to once a year. Nothing on the SORT grant, but those two things probably will lead to less points. Anyway. And we did the last SOC 3, and so we're good until 2016. At the end of 2016 to get back to those testing, all non-detects. Then I sent pictures over to our state guy of the, because Jim and I both understood that it was only that conduit that had broke that he was concerned about, and now he's saying that no, it's also that the hatch if you can see the picture, this little section is open, so he wants that watertight. So basically, Jim's, the guys went up, took pictures. He feels that if welding was done, it would cause more problems on the interior coating. So we're gonna try to see if we can semi-fix it until the tanks get painted. So, anyway, any questions on that?
Why do you want to wait till the tanks get painted?
Because if we do welding or anything, the interior paint will corrode. I mean, it'll have
Be
to
affected.
Yeah, and that's
And
what.
since we're planning to do work on it anyway, if we could postpone it, that does make sense.
How long has it been this way, do you think?
I don't know how long it's been that way.
But summer months, I mean, Sunday's gonna get some direct light, but it's not gonna get a whole lot of water, and it's gonna go even further, right?
It's not uncovered like Portland, no.
There will be no one on top.
That's true.
We won't have ducks swimming in it.
No.
And then the next part, the utility placement agreement. I was trying to get a road opening permit to put in a new fire hydrant, and the county said we either have to pay $1,000 on each permit or return the signed copy of the utility placement. And we were working on this prior to, they were getting information back from the one attorney for Clackamas County, and then he got fired or something. And so nothing else went on it. But I put Steve's information in an envelope. They said they could come here if you wanted, but I said, why don't we just present everything, and then if you want them to come and discuss it. But they feel that we have 3 options, and I think you read those. If you open your little envelope. You either sign the agreement, send it back, sign it with a reservation, I think it was, what do you called it? Under reservation rights. Or try to continue to get an intergovernmental agreement with the county.
So,
If we have an
can't we
emergency.
do a combination of 2 and 3? So, because if we sign it with a reservation of rights, they're gonna come back and say, then we have to discuss this, right? So it's sort of,
Probably.
gonna be both of those. Yeah, I think the right course of action is to describe our concern, and, I mean, if we're gonna belabor this thing and go through some long negotiations about how to do it, it's, I guess we don't really care. It's their problem, right? So, maybe it's 3. 2 or 3, they don't, there's not a whole lot of difference between the 2. If we reserve our rights, they're gonna come back to us and want to
Yeah, I don't know
right? So,
what they do.
and 1 doesn't seem like a reasonable option if we have concerns about the agreement.
Well, it's up to you, as long as you know the financial, risk, that every time we open up if they come in and do work in the district, which I'm not sure they're gonna do a whole lot after they did Child's Road, but
I would be surprised if they do.
they could say, move your pipes from here, and we would have to pay.
So, what can they do now in the absence of this intergovernmental agreement? They can do that, right? Or not?
No,
Well, they did that last time. They said, "Go put risers on these."
I know, but they paid for them,
Oh, they did?
yeah. Most of them, there was one thing that they didn't want to pay for them,
Right.
but they went ahead and paid for them.
Right.
So that's exactly the same deal.
That's where we are now. We're negotiating each issue, right? If they say move that pipe, then we'll negotiate that. Sounds like right now. We negotiated it last
So
time.
it sounds like this, if we sign it, it's in their favor.
If
Yeah.
we sign the agreement, yeah,
It's
I think
definitely
so.
It doesn't give us any waiver except for the $1,000 permit fee. Yeah, at
We
this,
sign it, we comply.
yeah, we sign it, we comply. How about we just to keep the status quo and buy the permits.
It's up to you. I'm not
Right.
sure it's in our budget, and I'm not sure that isn't a bond, that after 3 years they release it back to you.
That seems to me what happened before, but maybe I'm mixing that up with something else.
What comes from the back? Sorry, I didn't.
See, what we used to have was,
Okay.
they secured $5,000 in our account for up to 10 road opening permits. That's not acceptable to them now. So,
So, go back to the risers, is that the one, recent memory? So, we had to, they paid for us, they reimbursed us for the cost on that? And did we have to pay them a construction fee? I think to get a building permit or anything like that to do that?
No, it was their
their
issue.
road.
They wanted to pave the road.
Yeah.
They brought the grade up, so we had to raise the
Right.
road. So we didn't want to do anything.
Right.
It was,
yeah.
had they not decided to rebuild the road, it wouldn't get it.
And I think we had to call Sam in on a valve at the end of
So-
Sycamore.
So these, so this is basically the same issue.
Well, not entirely, because what's happening is we're making a request to open up their road. Whereas before, they were gonna do it and they just told us, you gotta fix your lines. Now, we're saying, we want to open the road. And they want an agreement or $1,000 per road opening. And if you think you're only gonna do 1 or 2 a year, then it's no big deal. But if you're gonna do a whole bunch of them, you put in hydrants, you have connections, every time it gets opened, then you gotta pay.
If you have a main break,
Yeah.
we can fix it, before
Yeah.
we do that, and I slipped the Dawn one in on before.
Uh-huh.
Well, we have a hydrant program.
Yeah.
We put in a number of, quite a few hydrants.
All right,
They're not
suppose,
in road quality, but they're probably in.
You're gonna have to open them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've got, say, 15 hydrants, that would be $15,000 in permits.
Right.
Whereas if we negotiate an agreement, it may not.
Yeah, and we probably, but the downside is they go through and let's say they tear up a portion of Childs again and regrade it, and they want us to move our pipe, we're on the hook for paying for it.
Yeah, that's where the big
That's the
big
big
money
money.
comes in.
Yeah.
We had sort of that same issue with Lake Oswego out here in Jean Road. When they redid the road, they wanted us to move pipes. And it was like, oh.
So when they put the pathway in,
Yeah.
didn't that cost us some adjustment?
No, the project paid us back. That's the one
Okay.
he was talking about.
Yeah.
So that one's not exactly current, but we're talking about basically, what's county in that legend? Is it the brown is Lake Oswego?
Yeah.
Blue is
The-
Rivergrove and white is.
White.
Yeah,
No,
but-
the whitest, yeah.
Wade's County over here.
Yep.
And most of the roads though, the other thing too is if a road is in like a city, like it doesn't mean that's necessarily maintained by the city, it can still be a county road.
Well, look at Country Club. That's exactly the situation with that. Although Lake Oswego has started taking over maintenance of those roads. They don't own them, but they maintain
Because I think Childs Road's a county road all the way through,
I
even
think
though
it is.
So absent, well, there are other county easements probably, right? There's utility easements, there may be other easements the county has rights to also, right? Be outside of roadways? Right-of-ways?
I don't know.
So we're
What
pretty much
other-
limited to roads, I guess is what I'm saying.
think.
But with respect to this agreement,
Yeah.
there might be some other.
Yeah, this one would be.
and generally new developments have like offset easements around the property lines where it was like a 5-foot offset on each.
We've got a lot of road.
In comparison, it costs $300 with Lake Oswego if we open their street,
Yeah.
and that's it.
So.
How much would it cost if we had to move 50 feet of piping from one place to another?
Try $250 a foot,
250 a foot?
and that's a while back too. Might be 300.
So if you have to move 1,000 feet of pipe,
Oh, yeah,
that adds up real quick.
yeah.
Good expense.
Well,
So, okay, do we have a recommendation from Steve of these three options?
No.
What is the beeping?
Oh, shut that. It's a coffee pot.
Oh,
I don't know why it's beeping.
I was
Drive
wondering.
us crazy.
Yeah,
It's trying to drive Chris and I
both of us are going, you know? Thank you.
I think Sean's right, is I think we should sign it with, but reserve our rights. See what they do.
Yeah, and we would need, obviously, Rivergrove has to write that reservation rights
Yeah.
letter along with the signed agreement.
Yeah. There is a thing coming up with SCAO. I got a postcard. I don't know if you got a postcard for a Metro breakfast.
Yeah.
And
Down in Wilsonville?
well, I don't know if it's just over here at the embassy.
Oh,
Anyway,
I don't remember.
When
they
is that?
are talking about the same issue.
Oh, they are? Oh.
Maybe we should wait then.
Yeah, because I'm not sure that we need, that breakfast is coming up fairly shortly. And if that's the case, then maybe we should.
We can't afford to move 1,000 feet or 500
No.
feet or even 300 feet.
Well, the reality is,
Yeah, that was.
where if you sign it, you tend to be very vulnerable because the county can change the rate costs. And, you know, the cost of opening up each site. They could change the figure next year.
Well, if the fee that they would charge us to open up a site would be the fee that they would charge anyone else.
Right, but that could go up is my point. So in terms of us trying to plan ahead,
But it wouldn't go up because of anything we did. I mean,
No.
Right?
No.
Because it would affect everybody the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Wouldn't it be like a retaliatory?
no, but it's like, if you look at the difference between what the county wants to charge and like Oswego, you mentioned what, 300?
300.
You know?
Flat 300. Now, that is not worth arguing about.
Oh, yeah, my point is that, are they making?
It's just for the permit.
Is this an
Yeah.
income revenue?
Or are they doing this to encourage us to sign the agreement so they don't get stuck with a bill or an expense they weren't expecting to pay because the local utility wasn't going to put risers on their
yeah,
pipe?
they have the same issue we do, right?
Yeah.
Unforeseen expenses, right? They've got contingency set up in emergency funds, and if they don't have enough money there, they're in trouble. They got to offset to somebody else.
Yeah,
So,
and that's a chronic issue.
yeah. So, we feel their pain, but the fact is we're smaller than the county, and our ability, we don't have bond capacity. Well, so, there's a lot of differences,
Yeah,
right?
and I was
We can.
interested that Rockwood is not considered a utility. They're a municipal corporation.
I thought they went
Well-
PUD.
They may have, but at the time that the lawsuit that Steve is talking about was filed,
Oh.
they weren't a PUD, it didn't sound like.
No.
And so,
That gave them maybe more authority.
well, if they're not as a municipal utility, or as a municipal corporation, they're not a utility. We're a municipal corporation, we should not be a utility
Yeah.
either, under the same theory.
Well, that's what Steve's
Well, he's
saying.
just
Yeah.
saying there's no case law back up.
Well, maybe,
Right.
So,
Well, that's a
Did he
supposed to case
recommend
law.
changing?
Yes, there is.
yeah.
did Steve recommend us changing anything
Yeah,
in
and it
terms of our
was,
status?
No, we
and you
don't.
could certainly argue that.
No, we can't.
Well,
Right.
we should, that's probably what should be contained in our reservation rights.
Is
Yeah.
Since, we reserve our rights and that we believe we're a municipal corporation, therefore not a utility, just like
Mhm.
Rockwood.
Yeah.
And, so therefore we sign this as long as we have an agreement that we're not a utility.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, because then you get into the franchise fee thing that,
Well,
They're
yeah, I
talking
mean,
about.
then they can start, okay, we're gonna charge us so much for wherever your pipes are in the road, and that's,
A lot of, and I've noticed a lot of municipalities they're kind of coming up short, and
Yeah.
now they're going after organizations for franchise fees that they normally wouldn't go after because they legally are exempt.
Right.
yeah.
So it's like, oh, we'll go after Clackamas County for putting in fiber, we'll go after,
Well, they were going to go after Water Environment Services.
Services.
Oregon City was going
yeah,
to come back to the county.
to go for the sewer pipe.
Right.
Which, what you do is you turn off the sewer instead of do it yourself.
Let's not go there.
All right, so do we have any, sounds like our leaning is towards signing it with reservation rights.
Yeah, I wonder what the likelihood of being able to do an IGA is. Because obviously it was when the regime changed and things just sort of stalled out. Whether they are any more amenable now.
Wasn't that what they're asking us to
What about tabling this until next month when we can get to that meeting and then even invite, and possibly Steve might be going to that too with SDAO.
Right.
That makes, yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
And then we can
I'm
evaluate.
not prepared to make a decision,
Yeah.
but I think that's the way to do it. Just to agree to
Yeah, I
continue
mean,
to look into it.
they're not putting the heat on us to some extent.
No, well, unless we want to do some work.
Well, let's hope we.
Well, the next month and
Remind us how many bedrooms we want to try to replace this year.
Oh, we were only gonna do 2 or 3, and it's too late to do one. I was trying to get one into the,
Other unforeseen stuff, leaks or whatever, what's on?
they can't do anything. We just gotta fix them. Yeah. And like I said, they didn't do anything the last time when, on Dawn.
So,
And
are we only talking $2,000 in this year for boat permits?
What do we think? We're going to open the roads up a couple times.
yeah, with exception of emergency.
Yeah.
I think we have some time, because we're not talking $15,000 here, we're talking $2.
Yeah, and if we thought there was some likelihood of a major project, then we'd be under the gun, but for $2,000, yeah, let's not.
I'm willing to buy some flexibility here.
So you want me to,
So what Sherry suggests is we table this until after the breakfast meeting and have some time to discuss it and talk to Steve maybe there and others that are attending.
okay.
And I won't be at that discussion, that'll be next week.
do you have a copy of the notice on the meeting?
It's right here.
Here, I'll take.
So,
I think that's a good suggestion, Sherry.
you won't be here next month either? Is that what you said?
No, well, next board meeting, I probably won't be.
Yeah, I won't be either. Probably 2 weeks or 2 months out in August or something.
For this, so tabling this.
Yeah.
Or we could change the meeting date of next month if we can work around your
Yeah,
schedule.
Yeah, that's
both of
fine.
you are gonna
Yeah, I'm going to be in Southern California. It's the last week of the week.
Well, yeah, I'll be in Central California.
Actually, I might be here. It'll be the 28th. I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Sonoma.
be. Oh, that's
Sure.
so fun.
Let's have a meeting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually
Two of us will be down there. I'll be in about San Luis.
That's not bad either.
Okay, we'll table it and,
So we may need to talk at the end about meeting date for July, because John and I are gone the end of the month.
oh, the next meeting? Okay.
We'll talk about
And if something comes up, this is July 9th, we could always have a special meeting if we need to, if you had to have some,
Oh,
Yeah,
if I
some
have to go
project.
into the road,
yeah.
She's gonna go.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
road.
Exactly.
$1,000 we could.
DJ, can I see that postcard?
Sure.
Okay, so, we will table tab 7 until future discussion, maybe next board meeting.
And what are we? We also got to talk the mutual aid agreement,
Mutual aid agreement.
which you're recommending that we sign.
Yeah.
Which I think we should sign because I talked to Terry about how it works.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. So, yeah, go ahead.
Want to talk about mutual aid?
Yeah, let's do that. So you talked to him, give us what do you know, John?
Well, basically, it's if we have an emergency, we can go to, and let's say we need an excavator. We can go to Lake Oswego and say, hey guys, you have an excavator we can borrow. And the agreement says we can borrow that excavator for 22 hours, I believe, at no cost. Then after that, we'd have to start paying. But if they don't have an excavator, then we go to the next closest jurisdiction.
So are we all signing this? How many jurisdictions
No.
are signing this?
A lot have already
A
signed.
lot have already signed it. Clackamas River Water,
Yeah,
all.
but basically, if Lake Oswego said, hey, we need an emergency,
Does this go for pumps and
Everything, everything that we have, that we can, anything that we can share. If we can't share it, then we're not handing it over. If they come to us and say, hey, we need an emergency water filter to filter water, and we're using both of ours, then we say we can't, we're using ours. Then they have to go, Lake Oswego will then go to Westland will say, no, we don't. Then Lake Oswego will go to the county then would go to FEMA, and basically the idea is if it's a small emergency, that we help each other out. So, since we're such a small district, I don't see Lake Oswego.
We need it. We probably don't have a lot of stuff that we would have to share, right? 'Cause we have less equipment than most.
I'm sure that's probably true, yes.
By the trucks, but basically it would.
Share DJ.
Yeah, but basically it would, I think we would benefit more from it
Yes.
than we would be hurt by it, because we don't have a lot of resources to share.
Yeah,
So,
that to me is much to our benefit and not much downside.
Yeah.
but basically, and
Unless there's something peculiar to the agreement, and to be frank, I didn't spend a whole lot of time reading.
well, a
it.
lot of organizations have signed it.
Yes, they
So
are.
there's nothing in here that scares us that we need to.
It's basically, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, if possible.
If their machine blows up and who's on the hook for it? We are free.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Did Steve get a chance to look this over?
Yes.
And he had no problem with it?
Okay.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the mutual aid agreement?
I so moved.
I would second.
Moved and seconded to approve Clackamas County mutual aid agreement. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll sign that one. Now, district boundary cleanup, DJ.
Well, did you get a hold of them?
Yeah, they said that everything on the website was correct. All those properties are in the Rivergrove tax.
All these?
All the way down, all the way down the line.
We've been doing some research and to try to figure out if we want to take people out. Unfortunately, these on the corner where we said this one is the only one out of district, these all are not in our district. And actually this one, and this one have been getting in-district water rate charges.
Are we getting what, water?
They've been billed for as in-district water rate,
Oh.
And they're not.
and they're not.
So we should send them a giant bill saying you owe us a whole bunch of money. And they'd love us. For
Yeah, well,
We're not the city of Portland.
We're signed Randy Leonard.
You're mean.
and so, and I had.
What's your suggestion?
Well, I think we ought to make sure these guys are paying what they're supposed to pay. It's not going to be pretty.
I think we should annex them and foot the bill because it's been our mistake.
Well, I wouldn't charge them back anyway.
No.
So the options are we either, in future bills, we charge them the right amount, the out-of-district amount, or we put them in the district.
Right.
What's the process of putting them in the district?
Well, I can show
Or a map
you.
and erasing something or something like that?
Well, they're getting the water
From us, we've been treating them like they've been in district for who knows how many tens of years.
Probably since they were built.
And then by asking a question of the Washington County Assessor's Office, if it's in our district or not, they said it's out of your district.
And then there's the two properties that are getting charged out of district. That if
This
they
was
talk
my
to their neighbors,
application that I did.
that can open up
So do we have to-
another
Took
can of
these
worms.
Oh, so we have two more?
There's
So
two
there's,
that are have
processing
been charged
apply.
correctly.
Yeah.
Is it metric?
That's
And
right.
what happens if you?
Oh yeah, it's the ones that are further south. Oh, those. No, we have to ring them all in.
And you have to get everybody's signature.
You have to go through the
Well,
annexation.
so what's
Process,
the,
yeah.
what's the danger?
And then you also have to survey and have a legal description done. so it can be added to the thing,
Yeah.
to our current legal description. Jim, I talked to Jim and he was gonna find out where we got the one little thing was on there on the map when it went from Don to Jim. So it's been a while, so he was gonna try to contact Don. But, I mean, it's, you do
I'll pass this around.
Well, so this is an arduous process, right? And
it wasn't fun.
the better alternative is we just charge them the district fees. How much is that?
It's 130%. I mean,
130?
30 more percent of the charges.
So we slap them with that and they probably say, either we'll get our water somewhere else if we can, or we annex us in, we'll sign your paperwork, right?
Well, what other place could they get it?
I don't think Tualatin has
I don't
water.
think Tualatin goes down
No,
that
I don't
far.
think there's anybody, I mean, that's kind of,
I don't think you can do that because Scappoose tried that that's why they had to put in a 9-mile 6-inch line to serve 10 people. They tried cutting the people off up the canyon, and it's salt water. So the people sued him.
Serious?
Yeah.
Salt water? How do you
Well, it's brackish water. It's like, I mean, that's what we're on a well, and it works for everything but drinking and cooking. So, yeah, I don't know why salt water went up the canyon there, but everybody that drills a well gets it.
probably an old confined aquifer left over from eons ago when that was connected to the ocean.
So, but back in the 70s when filtration came online, Scappoose, there was actually more than that on there, but they got it all the way down to 10 people all the way up Dutch Canyon. And those people sued him, and they said, you can't do that, you can't shut them off, you can't.
So at this point, these properties are within the county unincorporated area still, right?
Well,
They're in Washington County.
Washington County, okay. If all this area was to annex into Lake Oswego, my question is, what are these properties within the urban service boundary of Tualatin or
They're in the
Lake
city.
Oswego?
They're in the city of Rivergrove right now. That's what it says right here.
They're in the city of Rivergrove.
That's what it looks like.
Well, no, the green is 12.
Right there.
The white is unincorporated
Is that white?
Clackamas.
Unincorporated?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really
Color.
unincorporated
Not too
Washington
close to
County.
it.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so
But see, we need to get agreement with Washington County in terms of what if we annex.
The annexation would be going through Washington County.
So there's no wash.
So
Washington
what's the
County.
process with
Washington County's
respect to those
boundaries right
homeowners?
here.
Do we have to notify them if we're gonna charge them out of district?
Oh, I see.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know,
No,
I've never
I-
had that.
Change the bill in 1 month there?
Well, I'm sure that we need to notify
Yeah.
them.
They're already,
Yeah.
that's already gonna change in the next month.
You
And
mean,
they'll be like,
but the billing, you mean
Yeah.
the billing's gonna change?
well, we
Oh,
already,
with
the
we
rate
already
increase.
put our rate increase through, so people are gonna see a
So they're gonna get
change.
double
Yeah.
whammy.
But I
And then
mean,
they're gonna, yeah, and then.
But theirs is
they'll
gonna
get
be
hit
higher.
again.
Yeah.
So,
way
well, I
higher.
think we need to go, that's the logical progression here, which is we start charging them what we should charge them, and we say, sorry, we just learned this, and we have to charge it because this is what our ordinance says, and see how they respond. If they say, well, move us into the district, and we'll say, okay, there's a process there. And
Yeah, and all these
doing that process.
people that wanted to move in the district, they paid the fees. And they probably paid the
Annexation.
Well, I can see why.
legal
People are-
description
yeah.
too. They probably paid that too, I don't remember. All I know is,
I think that's really the only alternative, isn't it? We notify them, we rate, and their next bill, it's reflected on the next bill, and then we work through the process with them.
have you talked to Steve about this? The annexation, what is the process and?
No, had a call in and I didn't get back to him. Ken Martin, he was the one that
He was
used
the Boundary Commission.
Boundary
chair.
Commission.
With
He's still with Metro, and he does consulting, and ask him the process, but I haven't got back to him yet. He called me back, but we were doing phone tags, so I was gonna see. I'm sure he knows the process.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You don't think a property owner would want to have any kind of controversy, about their property if they wanted to sell it or anything
Well,
like
now
that?
that is a really interesting issue because the southwest employment area that Lake Oswego is looking at borders all those properties. And it's not real clear to me if it goes down into those or not.
Well, what's the southwest employment area?
The southwest employment area is, that, and then the triangle that comes south. That, yeah. That's all an area that Lake Oswego is looking at to redevelop with increased business, whether, probably not industrial, but certainly commercial.
And that's all Lake Oswego. I thought that was 12.
Well,
The green is,
yeah, that's,
Chris,
yeah,
these properties in here,
yeah.
they're Washington County,
Yeah.
right? And you're saying that they're also Rivergrove within,
No, they're not.
No, I don't
thought
think
these
these
were
No, I was
Rivergrove.
wrong.
It's an incorporated Washington.
Okay.
Oh,
okay, so they're still in the unincorporated area of Washington County,
Yes.
right? All right, but I just wondered, looking at this property in here, wasn't the industrial property for sale?
Gage?
Yeah,
What's that kind of curved line going there on the?
because I
on
thought
the
that
west
was
side
part
that?
of Lake Oswego.
Move to the west of the triangle there, the white kind of curved line. Is that just a?
That's the railroad.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
railroad, okay.
Yeah, that's Southern Pacific Railroad.
Yeah.
When you said
Um,
Rivergrove, I thought, how could it be
It's
Rivergrove?
not.
Because it's
It's
not
not.
contiguous
No,
with Rivergrove.
they could have run it up the road. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done a cherry
Okay.
stem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all, the CPO got notification that the industrial area is going to have a committee, and they're going to start meeting as a task force to figure out what can be done and how they can use the area more effectively.
Who supplies water to those two little plots there?
And you're saying Lake Oswego is, or the
These
county is going to have
Lake
an
No,
industrial?
the two
Okay.
triangles that Chris is talking
Okay.
about, southwest employment area. That's Lake
That-
Oswego.
that's
water?
all
Lake
Or
Oswego.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where the water is.
How do they serve that? Where do they come in from?
Coming down this way. I think they
you come down 60,
I think there's two pipes in Lakeview. There's an
oh, there is, yeah, there is.
There's also-
They,
yeah.
they also are having a large discussion about how they're going to redo the 65th and McEwen intersection. And that's going to be substantially enlarged.
Yeah. The issue, though, I think is interesting, though, is biometronics,
Uh-huh.
and there's another big, another microsystem.
Yeah, microsystems.
They're in
yeah.
there, and they're actually, I don't see how the city's going to be able to do anything, because they're in there making their buildings bigger.
They want more people like microsystems. High-paying jobs, not a great deal of impact to resources. They really want to keep stuff like that.
Both biometronics
Yep.
and microsystems, yeah.
Yes. God, I got just a block about that. The microsystems is the largest private employer in the city of Lake Oswego.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, huge.
There
bigger
are
than-
500
Well, private,
people.
because
Private
Greenbriar's
employers.
got the biggest. Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
public.
Mhm.
You know, Gunderson, Greenbrier.
Chris, do you think this area, if annexation occurred,
Uh-huh.
this is still Washington County?
Yes.
Would it be annexed into Taggart, or would it be annexed into Lake Oswego? I just wonder, who is a designee for urban service planning?
You'd want to contact Metro, because Metro is the boundary authority.
Right,
Yeah.
they make the decision, but the reality is, they've made that type of decision usually 20 years ago on who's supposed to be planning for a specific designated area.
You call Metro.
It's
Yeah.
Tiger Tualatin School District, but the kids don't go to Tiger Tualatin. They go to Rivergrove and
Yeah.
you know,
Same
like
whole
Oswego.
So it sounds to me like,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah,
and
that's
then with,
exactly right.
like Oswego having the water partnership with Taggart too.
So, okay, I mean.
It'd be interesting to see.
Wouldn't you think that they could get water wherever Montauk Circle's getting them? It's 12 water district.
Not unless they extended their pipe. If you see
Through that
666.
apartment complex to the backside of those lots.
Oh, they might be able to, I don't know.
Well, I mean, not that we want to encourage them to get out, but I mean, maybe that's cleaner. Put your water from Tualatin and you're in Washington County and.
Well, this looks like we need a lot more information on this stuff
Yeah, that's,
from both Metro and,
because it's really.
and the
But it
counties.
sounds like in the
In the
very
main-
near term, we've now been made aware that they're out of district and we got to charge them the out of district fees. And we got to say sorry and giving you a free ride, but
Yeah.
you know, it's changed.
Well, some of them have been paying it. Those two on the end. So,
They have, yeah.
so I don't need to send them a letter, but the other ones, and I think one of these is gone back to the bank, so I'm not sure.
So do you have any vacation coming up before Dan's here? So you should send a letter the day before that.
Okay.
Dan can deal with it.
Yeah, I do have some. Anyway.
Just kidding, Dan.
It might
That
actually
area-
turn out to be true though.
That area is really a complicated one. When you've got so many jurisdictions.
I didn't realize they were going to redo that intersection.
They
It didn't
can't
need
get,
to.
well, they can't get trucks around the corner.
Yeah.
And even though trucks aren't supposed to go that way, they still do.
Well, and there's
And they're gonna continue to do that.
Yeah.
The road's
And
a
they're gonna-
mess there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all torn up.
Well, they
There's
just need
that.
to take this and cut it this way, to do something with this corner too.
And you
make
know,
make
That's a
yeah,
really blind corner.
It is. I almost hit a
Yeah.
runner. I almost hit somebody the other day because I was coming in on my lane and he was right there on the edge of the pavement in the road right away.
Well, we get the traffic from the east area who are trying to connect to the freeway, you know, from Westland
yeah.
and
We
Rosemont.
do too.
Well, what's the impact of?
They come up our street thinking they're gonna cut right over
Yeah.
to,
Well,
Centerwood and
A
then
whole
up.
different issue.
It's a whole
It'd
different
be
issue.
just have better to stand
a
Childs all the way down.
Yeah.
Well, they
petition.
eventually do.
And these guys aren't getting water from us, so
Or
it
Childs
doesn't
up to
affect them.
Pilkington.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a
Who do they get the
really,
water from?
Really ugly
Tualatin.
issue down at the corner of Indian Springs and Childs.
But it would
Would
be,
it make more sense then for Tualatin to
Drive by and take a look at
provide
where
water to the other
house will
people?
be.
I don't think so,
Less than
but,
20
you
feet.
know.
It might be good to just give them a call and
Yeah.
say,
It is just
this is our new news.
horrifying.
and-
Yeah.
No,
we're-
the address is Indian Springs. Their driveway will
I'm
come
sure
out
that
onto
question will
Indian
come up.
Springs right as you turn the corner. And as you get down to the corner right now, you have almost not almost, you have a blind
Oh, yeah.
right.
Looks to the left.
Now, the left will be blind. So you're gonna have to be into the road before you can see oncoming traffic.
I drive that all the time and you have to kind of poke your nose
Yep.
up there to look.
Well, it's gonna get way worse.
Yeah, we can go flying down that stretch.
60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Do you
I
hear
come out to the
late at
stop
night?
sign and people run that stop sign all the time.
That whole section of road has got serious
Should have a
problems.
sign, photo.
Yeah.
Just put the sign up.
Monitored.
Right. Yeah.
And have a
We don't have to
light
say-
flash.
Yeah, they
We
stood
haven't
out-
installed it yet, but
I worry about runners and, you know, bike riders. 'Cause there's no shoulder
You
at
have
all and
a
you're
death
just.
wish if you run on that road.
Yeah, it's
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I would ride my bike to work, but you know, I'd have to go Childs to Stafford.
Yeah.
I'd be dead by now.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, maybe the toughest man in the district is Rich Spaccarelli, and he runs up Childs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jumping over potholes, and his shoulders like this big, and he's running toe.
Is he the guy that's running with the bag and picking up garbage?
No,
that's
that's
a different
white.
But
Uh, and he's been doing it for years. I've
he runs
almost
up to
killed him.
Lusher Farms. 'cause he's
Yeah.
got- yeah, and I worry about the guy.
And a Ricardo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo's.
Okay, and on the rate study, the contractor's over at Steve's to check on that too. So I don't have anything more on that. There is a development meeting at a church on June 2nd for this 18901 Hilltop Road. And Tracy's supposed to come in and talk to me sometime this week, so, but he seems to feel that we all should update the road and we all should have a zone of benefit for getting 4 houses up there. And he asked about with the maintenance agreement. Well, we never got it in place because you have Buford's and you have,
Good luck.
yeah, that other lady on the end, and so it's at night. I really don't want to go to it. Mrs. Buford said though she'd give me the information.
I'll bet she will.
Is she opposed to it?
You know, it's hard to figure out because if these guys get their stuff in, they would be able to probably
They would be
benefit from it.
able-
Get water up on this reservoir.
Huh?
Could we serve him with water? Is he gonna have to?
I don't think we can, and I've been
Not without a giant pump. that's-
not without pumps. Because Jim said he'd do it down from Olson Court, and they're not going to have 20 PSI. The last guy on the top of the hill
Yeah.
always complains, and he has about 35, just 40. So,
So
Yeah, and
what's
you
his
can
plan
bring-
for water?
You can bring water over.
well, his plan was that we're going to write a letter and say we have water available. And I've been talking to the planners, and I've been talking to them, and I said, no, that's not the plan. Seems to me the best plan would have him come over the hill from
Yeah,
Lake
from Lake
Oswego.
Oswego, because it's not that far.
Maybe we should write that letter early on with a copy to the city, so then they can plan on having that alternative plan.
Well, I could. I've told Tracy that if he wants to talk about water, we need to have a pre-app meeting. But, you know, I don't know what stage this is in.
Where does he want to put that property?
Right, it's right above the reservoir.
Right here?
Right
Hilltop
there.
Road.
4 houses on the side of a hill.
So I need to
And-
get the key for the gate because I walked the dog up there. Well, I did the other day. I was walking up by it, and because I really hate that section of Childs, speaking of that.
Yeah.
Childs. But, so I wanted to go walk through, go to Olson, and go down that way, where I can get a sidewalk back.
Yeah.
I was gonna jump the fence, but I figured the camera didn't catch me.
You could just smile and then we recognize
Did you pick up the beer bottles out there?
Well, there's a pretty good
Yeah,
spot
how's
under
the
the
way we
gate,
get in? This way?
and my dog could probably get through there, so I'm not sure I can.
Oh, you come down this way?
Yeah, I'm not sure you want to.
Maybe we need to fix that.
Black head covers, you know,
Oh,
flies in there.
yeah,
and-
the balaclavas,
Yeah.
yeah. Are they going to have sewer up there?
Yes, because, you know, Dawn has sewer, and they have a sewer running through there, and they have a 10-foot easement that comes off of Dover or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, they
So-
have sewer.
He would be next into Lake Oswego.
He's already in Lake
In there.
Oswego.
Okay, good. So let them provide the water. And I think we should send that letter early. I mean, why
Well-
charge him for a pre-op meeting when you think that it's not even reasonable and feasible?
Oh, that's true. Have Jim write one.
So his are on top, right? There's also a lot at the bottom of the hilltop in Barton there. Is that his lot too? For sale?
Bottom of
Right
Hilltop.
where the pavement ends on, coming from the top, I can't see through. So, anyway. Where Hilltop comes down into Barton, the other way, right in there. Oh, go down, more. No, like around the corner, right in there.
Well, that's Buford's place.
Okay, so, because there's one going up the hill that's for sale, right next to an existing house.
Probably.
What is the city gonna, excuse me,
Buford has got a real problem in that he wants to run a sewer line south through Lori James.
oh, really?
And Lori basically said twice. And
Can you describe
The
that?
recorder, yeah.
Chris raises her middle finger.
yes, the woman who owns, she and her husband own the property, and she said, over my dead body. And she is quite serious about
She
that.
is. I've talked to her
Yeah.
about it before.
She will not tolerate that.
Well,
So
so
he's
from
got
Lake
nowhere to go.
Oswego's planning, I wonder what their staff recommendation would be.
Well, Buford can run sewer the other way. You have to pump, but he can do it. And the question is, can he put Well, now he's
He
outside
doesn't
the
want it,
UGB.
yeah, he doesn't want to annex because he wants to put 3 lot subdivisions in
Yeah.
instead of having to give Laco 1/3 of the property to open space.
Yes. He's got a lot of plans and
And he
At this
must not
rate-
want that in the sensitive land issue with it.
Oh,
Isn't it
no.
subject to a
Yeah.
landslide?
probably.
I'm sure.
So he's got multiple issues. He's likely to die before it's ever resolved. Because Lake Oswego's not enthusiastic.
Yeah, there's so much ivy and ground covers. If you start clearing that lot out, you're gonna change the drainage, you're gonna change
Yep.
it. I mean,
And
it's-
we're seeing
If they improve their, that's still a county road. But if
It's an
they,
unmaintained county road.
but if he wants to be annexed into Lake Oswego, I would assume that they would, can they require any kind of road improvement?
Oh, yeah.
into his-
Oh, yeah.
I would assume so,
They'd make it come up to their standards.
yeah.
Yeah.
How is that gonna affect us? Will we be charged at all for a
Well-
zone of benefit?
I don't know, that's what Tracy's saying, but I don't know that in Tracy's application that would happen. If it was Buford's application, that would happen. But I don't know.
Well, we need to find out the numbers on that, if it would, because we haven't planned for that in our budget.
So what does that do to our wellhead protection area too? There's another, we better get that.
It's important for participation at that hearing, because you have to get, and this is where we need to get together with the attorney, because at the initial hearing, anything that you ever wanted to state or challenge for further appeal has got to be in step 1, because the record gets closed and that's it.
Well, this is just a neighborhood meeting.
That's all right, but it's good to go to the neighborhood meeting and find out what the issues are, and because, and then start participating at the,
So in other words, you want me to stay for the meeting, is that what you're
yeah,
telling
I
me?
do.
Where is the meeting?
June 2nd.
June 2nd.
July 2nd.
July 2nd,
Yeah.
sorry.
I might be able to go. I just say no, we're not gonna do it. You're
Yeah.
not getting water from us. Nope.
Gee, it's really nice to see you again.
See, it would be nice to have that letter ahead of time of the neighborhood meeting, so the neighborhood knows
Yeah.
what,
This is where we are. No. You're not getting water from us. Nope.
Well, no,
Why is the
maybe there's a
meeting
benefit to
there?
sending a board member, because the real
I don't
answer
know.
is, I can't speak on behalf of the
way down
organization. I'm
Stafford.
just a board member. I'm here representing.
On the
so let's
Yeah,
get
unless we give-
copies for
unless we
everybody,
give,
and then,
authority.
because I will try and go to that meeting too.
Yep.
But
They sent us
Yeah.
three
Yeah,
of them.
we're-
I have to go through my...
Record it. Put the recorder on, so I'm gonna record this.
And you have every right to do so.
yep, you can videotape it.
I have the board gave me authority to record this meeting, and that's it. No comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can
would love to
express
go too, but that would be quorums. We can't do that.
an opinion
Like
that
2 or
we're
3.
looking at these things,
Sherry
but there
wants to
could be an
go.
economic impact to the district, so we need to.
Oh, well, Sherry's going. I mean, I think that's,
Yeah, we don't need 3 people.
we don't need 2.
Well, I would say, that if anybody goes, of
Yeah.
course, remember our board training, we can't speak on behalf of the board, we have unless authority is expressly granted to us, so we're just there to listen.
But
And-
if we have a letter, DJ, ahead of time from Jim or our attorney in terms of what their opinion is.
Why would our attorney be in it? Just curious.
Because it's a land use issue, that's why.
He's going to the gutters.
Yeah.
Ben Sandblast. He used to be on the planning commission.
What is he?
He used to be on the planning commission for Lake Oswego.
Oh. Where is
Really
this
smart
at?
man. As you cross 205 headed, what is that, south? It's on the right-hand side.
Yeah, the newer.
You go over the, yeah, you go over the freeway.
Yeah, you go over the freeway and it's the first church.
There's
The
so many
first
of
to
them.
25 on the right-hand
Am I
side.
one of the
That's one on
mega?
the right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one on the left is Catholic
Is
Church.
this
Yeah.
his, oh, this is his company, Ken's
Yeah.
company.
So it's the
His front
first on the
yard.
right?
yeah.
Okay.
There's a house in front and then there's the church in back and I think they have.
Oh, Wednesday, July 2nd. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Richland, I
Okay, so,
think. I mean, in Richland, just, we're doing an, 24-hour trip.
Well, if you're going to let one of us know, so we can make plans
Yeah.
otherwise.
Alright, this Wednesday. I might be able to.
That's,
I'm moving on Thursday. Go on a weekend trip, so.
I'll go to it if you want me just to represent the board.
I think it's almost better to have a board member go,
Okay.
because then you can just disclaim that we're not here to negotiate or discuss or explain our perspective. We're simply here to listen and communicate back to the board.
Yeah, it's I think at our advantage to have a
Yeah, because if they
non-committal
have-
board member there.
If they have staff there, they're gonna ask for technical details, and a board member can say, I don't discuss technical.
Oh,
We can't.
that's fine with me. I had enough night meetings.
Because we can't speak on the board. I was like, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just here to listen.
They wanna ask how you're gonna get water up there, well, I don't know. I'm not a.
that's
No,
a
I won't even say,
technical decision.
I can't even say that. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't speak on behalf of the water
Yeah.
district.
So then you wouldn't want a letter from the engineer.
No, you want nothing.
Yeah,
We don't want nothing, we just wanna be
Listen.
aware of the issues and.
But the recorder.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
record it and.
oh, and if you're board member, you have a perfect reason to record. You're relaying this to four other board
The
members.
reality is, you don't even need to give a reason. You can, it's a public meeting, you can record.
That's
period. No, you don't even have to explain why.
You don't even have to tell them.
That's right. You don't have to ask.
Well, there's a certain amount of effectiveness of putting on a recorder.
That is true, yeah.
I gotta make sure how the thing works. Okay, we're good. We're
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay,
All right, so, pump reads. Let's move on to number 8. We
Yeah,
don't
let's-
have any kind of,
I don't have anything on that. It's just showing you what, and they're going up.
okay.
Which would we expect this time of year.
Oh, I'm gonna turn the sprinkler on.
I'm working to raise water consumption.
Brian's
So-
put another home in place. He was like Brian Garrett's.
Yeah.
He was like the highest residential use. He even beat Sherry.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotta give him a
But now,
prize.
but now he's put his other home there, so it's not gonna be, not gonna be as big.
Yeah, I'm working on re-landscaping a property with natives so I don't have to water in the summer.
Good idea.
So I'm not helping the district out at all.
Well, you will for a year or so.
I'm gonna get the
Get
roots
'em- yeah,
established.
get 'em
Established.
established.
Yeah, I do more targeted watering than
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I used to use that excuse too, it really was laziness and no weeding, so.
No, I selectively weed. Some of the weeds are actually natives.
I'm
We
sure
wanna- we
blackberries,
wanna
they're
keep the
probably
natives
native.
in.
No, the blackberries go.
They're invasive.
Then
They were
I
brought
know.
in.
trying to get rid of a black lotus, so it's sending suckers up everywhere.
Oh,
Cut one of those
good
things
luck.
down. Now its roots are sending up all these.
Yeah, yeah.
Just drill some dynamite in there and let off the charge.
Well, yeah, but you don't understand that the feeds, they're running all the way to, they're like 200, 300 foot long roots that are
Oh my gosh.
that thick around.
They are just a curse.
And I have to kill the roots, which means I have to hit every time a sapling comes up, I have to hit it with a, like crossbow or something. So
What happens if you drill into the stump?
the stump's gone.
Oh, so there's nothing to drill into.
Right, it's just
Okay.
the type of plant it is. It not only does it do seeds, it also does runners.
Suckers,
Oh.
yeah.
And so it
What's
runs
the name
out.
of the plant?
It's a black lotus. It's a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look
It's
that one
actually native to eastern Oregon,
Uh-huh.
but they're not. They're a drought tolerant plant. That's why it sends all these runners out
Yeah.
searching for water. But
All right, finance report, Will?
Ken, is this the last report for the fiscal year?
No,
No?
This is,
When will the new fiscal year start?
July 1.
July 1, you know?
Right, so this would be the last,
But
Well,
we
we'll
can't
be
report
taking-
for July 1 because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So-
Yeah,
We'll have one more report.
but the last report's only gonna be covering,
a week and a half or so.
exactly.
So you pretty much know at this point.
Well, we're hoping that we get over that water sales amount.
There's a lot of checks there. So I'll be busy today.
So, I mean, we've got my name on the, for this report, but in fact, we have a qualified manager, and, that I think the financial report should be in the same category as the district report, where, when we come to the financial approval, this is Dan's presentation to the board. And, so I'll just ask Dan to
Yeah,
make his report.
me and DJ discussed that last time around. I said, should I be like getting together with Bill or something? I was like, because you guys always call on Bill to discuss the report, but we haven't discussed it.
Well, the only other thing that we could do, which I'm willing to do, is on Friday before you deliver the report, I could come down here on Friday
Yeah,
and, talk to you about it.
Sure.
But absent that, then you have the latest and best information. And, so really, I think it's, no matter how you do it, you're the finance manager, and you need to make the report the same way that DJ would make her report.
Yeah, I think it used to say Mary Jo, and didn't it used to have both the treasurer and Mary Jo's name on that line, which is for the...
Well, you were secretary treasurer.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
said
feel
Sean,
that,
Mary Jo.
huh?
They said Sean and Mary Jo, I think. I think, I agree with you. I mean, I think really Dan should be reporting to the board as the finance director what's going on. And the treasurer should oversee it, secretary.
Yeah,
should
that's, I
oversee
think that,
report. And however they work that out, whether it's just, whether we can have the agenda item attributed to the finance, or to the treasurer who says, Dan, tell us what's going on.
Right.
We really want it to pass the buck here and the buck gets passed over there.
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter, I guess, but it's ultimately, chairman's gonna call for the vote. The treasurer's gotta oversee what's happening, so you two gotta be connected with what's going on. And if you have questions after having reviewed it, you should,
Right.
then when you get your board book, you should review it and look through it in detail, and then if you come back and say, thank you for the report, Dan, I have questions online, this, and this, and this, and...
well, the main thing that I was thinking with DJ is that if that scenario happened, then, if it was something that I wasn't aware of, it would be best if I knew ahead of time to prepare
Yeah.
so that I can, have a response.
So we like to see it adapted.
Yeah.
I think a lot got started doing a report from the treasurer because we had marginally competent people doing the financial stuff. It wasn't until Mary Jo hit that things got tightened up. And,
Laughing that's an understatement.
we both remember the bad old days.
Well,
So-
I mean, Bill's a lot smarter than I am, but I think we have marginal competency on the board from a finance perspective.
I agree with you.
None of us are CPAs,
Nope.
and none of us are, so, we really want Dan to...
And I think I agree with Sean that would be a good idea. How you guys choose to work out the details.
Well, I'm gonna
Let's
put
move
him
the
on.
agenda item to Dan. And
Okay.
Dan can make us the financial report to the board. And Bill can query it based on what he's seen. And if the two of you want to talk about it beforehand, then that's fine.
That works. We pay him enough.
And we get paid enough to do this. Big bucks.
And Bill, it's
so you have anything?
sometimes for...
Yeah, sometimes we're,
So
we get the fruit back.
not, there's no issues this time around. There's some upcoming, end of fiscal year items that are gonna be addressed over the next month. One of which is gonna be me figuring out whatever that write-off is gonna be to resync our billing with our accounting in QuickBooks, and have to coordinate with Kuzi on that of exactly what that will look like, because we haven't really done much adjustments, or any adjustments really, in Koozie. I don't even know how to do it, which is good for auditing purposes, that it's not easy to change.
Any idea what we're looking at in terms of dollars?
Last time that we tried to balance it, it was fairly close, within a few thousand.
Okay.
And that's going to be a project over the next month to actually figure out the exact amount and execute that. And then
What would cause that delta? Why wouldn't they match? Unclear transactions, things, incorrect entries. What's the issue?
it could be a number of those things. It can be things that were entered in QuickBooks that were not entered through the billing software, or misclassifications where just the way that Mary Jo kind of had outlined how she reconciled the two, and where the numbers are found in QuickBooks, it's kind of broken out in the billing. So she'd say, take from here, 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 and here, and this should add up to here. Well, if you misclassify things, then all those are thrown off, and it could be.
It's hard to tell. So after you get to the write-off, whatever that number is, when we think it's going to be, I think $2,000 was the last number. I remember something in that area. So once that's zeroed out, and then if you start getting those variances, then you'd be able to more closely tell where it's coming from.
Correct. And the other thing that we would like to do, and I think that DJ is okay with this, if we can do it as close to July 1 as possible. We don't have much time, but Koozie offers an accounting module that communicates with the QuickBooks. So once a day, it's importing your information straight across. The only concern with preliminary talks with Koozie is that they had said that we may have to set up our QuickBooks a little differently, as far as having just a fund just for billing operations, and then everything else that we do, like our miscellaneous spending and things like that, would be in a separate fund, so that those two things don't.
Separate company, you mean?
Yeah, kind of like a separate company, or if it can be done that way.
What's that module going to cost?
$1,000. That's what they had quoted us. They said that their modules are always $1,000 or $2,000 based on your size, and we're $1,000.
So where does that come out of the budget? Can we get that in? Can we get that out of the 2014 fiscal year budget?
By the time he orders it, yeah, it'll.
And I presume you're recommending that we do that.
I think that it eliminates the future possibility of this type of error, because when you have programs in accounting that don't communicate with one another, then you're opening yourself up for that user error.
Do our auditors recommend this, or have you talked to them about it?
I have not talked to them.
That might give us a little more
I think so.
actionable requests.
It doesn't impact their ongoing comment about the audit trail and.
Possibly it could be beneficial just for the sheer fact that the numbers are getting imported out of Koozie, where right now we manually enter things, and Koozie is less able to be manipulated than QuickBooks. So if the data is being transferred and we're not able to manipulate that data,
so that
then that could
directly
be
impacts their
could
concern
be
in a positive way.
I would think so.
Well, then I think that I think you'd want to definitely do that then.
Does it flag discrepancies then on a monthly basis? Is it, do you go by count and tell you this is not matching, or what? Do we know how it works functionally yet?
I haven't seen it in a working application. Only
We'll
just
figure it out when we get it.
And
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, you've got two things going then. If you're going to be zeroing out that discrepancy, and which could be, who knows how many years it goes back, you know,
Yeah.
you're trying to get these numbers. You're gonna zero that out, and you're gonna have a new module where it's gonna automatically transfer it over. So if any discrepancy comes out at that point, it's gonna be way easier
A lot cleaner.
to figure out what's causing it.
Yeah, and I assume that the discrepancy only goes back to March
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
Mary Jo was able to reconcile.
So we want to take the charge, the discrepancy charge, and the cost of the software in the current fiscal year.
I think so, because, I mean,
Why not?
why not?
Yeah,
why not?
yeah.
And let's zero it out and make that's a penny for a pencil, you know, whatever.
We could do that. I'm sure they won't do anything until they get their money. So in the
Does
next week, we can probably,
Do they provide training for the software?
oh, they do at a cost.
Yeah, well, really, in addition to the $1,000 for the.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
No, yeah, no,
Otherwise, you're using the help functions in the.
no, there's software that costs more than $1,000 and you still have to pay thousands of dollars for the training.
All right, well, I mean, that's within your authority to do anyway, right? So, I think you got board support for it. So, nothing else to report specifically then, Dan, from your perspective here? Everything's
Nope.
ship shape?
Yep.
So do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
I'm moving to approve the financial report.
Second?
Moving and seconded to approve the financial report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's move on to the bank statements and paying the bills. Motion to pay the bills.
I'll move that we pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve bank statements and pay the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
So, now on to commissioner and staff comments.
I just have one comment. Dan has passed to become a notary, so we'll be able to
Right.
do notary
So I don't have
stuff
to go
here.
to UPS anymore?
I don't have my stuff yet.
He doesn't have his stuff yet. Another comment I do have is that we are working with meter readers they would like to do help with installing the backflows. And they did, just to get an idea, they went out and installed 2 of them for us to get an idea of how much time it would take for nothing. And,
How long
Do
did
we
it
feel
take?
they're qualified? They know what they're doing?
oh yeah, Jonathan is. He's the one that did it. It took the morning, I think. I don't remember. He was out on Childs Road and he did it. But and when I went out to bid before for doing that, the cost we got was $100 per backflow. And Jonathan has proposed $60 per backflow, and he will.
For how long?
Sold American.
For how long?
Well, you know, he feels he could put 900 in 1 year. I said, Jonathan, it's a financial thing. We can't afford to put 900 in 1 year. So he's given a 6-month contract to do 100 and 25 a month. That's what he thinks. So, I mean, some are easier, some are not. You know, so I want to go ahead with it.
That's 60 apiece.
Yeah.
So that's
Contract for
$6,000.
them, then they can, there's no
$6,000.
time frame on it, they can use it as fill-in work.
Yep.
Yes.
Better way to do
I
it.
think that's a terrific idea.
Okay.
And then,
I have one question about backflows. If someone has a well and they don't have a backflow, should we notify you of that?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know of anybody, but that came up in a discussion.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, well, we have one, but if we didn't, and I said, well, if you do, it doesn't matter, but I'll
So,
ask.
Are they using the well?
The question
They're
is,
using it to water their garden.
the backflow, you have to ask them what type of backflow and who put it in, because some backflows are not testable.
Yeah.
And so, and wouldn't meet our standard.
Well, does the well attach to the rest of the house?
I don't know.
Because if it's standalone,
If it's standalone, it doesn't matter.
yeah, it need to. But if it's tied into the rest
Yeah,
of the
on
plumbing,
that I don't know.
It's always
Have we identified all the well locations to evaluate whether we have testable backflows?
We've got a notebook that we put together after the survey that had 50 of them, and I looked it over because that's some of the thing we do in the source water protection grant, and there's quite a few that aren't there anymore, you know.
So
like,
would those sites be a priority with this contract?
Oh, yeah. We can have them go wherever we want.
Okay, because that would be helpful in terms of even reducing our risk exposure.
Do we notify people when we're on the backflow?
Yes.
So they know it's happening in the season?
Oh, we give them a letter and everything.
And then make the recommendation of the thermal
Thermal
valve expansion. But we're not monitoring whether people are installing
No.
a thermal. Should we be asking?
It's not our jurisdiction. We can't.
Whose
It's on the
jurisdiction is
other
it?
side
It's the
of the meter.
plumber's jurisdiction.
If it's inside the house, we can't require.
We can make
You can make a recommendation,
Yeah.
but from a higher risk issue, then that's an increased risk. Okay.
that's the thermal one. That's the one that goes on the hot water heater, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, I had one of those installed when I put my new hot water heater in.
Let's try to move on and get other commissioner comments. Any non-agenda items? All right, so consensus suggestions. Let's talk about the meeting date. So I'm out the 27th, so John, the 28th, which is the fourth Monday in July.
What's the third one?
21st? Can we do the 21st?
I can do the 21st.
I can't.
Can we do sometime that week?
Could we change it to Tuesday or something?
After the 22nd, I think I can.
I could do the 22nd or the 23rd.
Yeah, I could too.
I can't do, I leave on the 24th.
What's the 23rd?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Can we do that?
That works for me.
23rd? Same time,
It is?
same bad time?
Yep.
7:30 and the 23rd.
All right, since I have that letter in there, I'm gonna take this with. Actually, I'll just put my
We're gonna do
calendar.
the 22nd, we could do that.
We can do the
22nd or
22nd.
23rd would be fine.
We
What's
just,
preference?
either
Preference
one,
would be 23rd.
23rd works.
Let's do the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so next meeting, July 23rd, agenda items we ought to circle back on. We've tabled the road easement discussion, so that should be on the agenda. Otherwise, I think we're good.
Yeah, so, and the boundary issue, I see if we can get that.
Yeah, some more detail on that.
Yeah.
Sorry I asked.
You know,
I was gonna get a can and put a cap on it and have gummy worms in it for you. But, you know, it
I
should
will tell you
be.
about Lake Rose water boundary.
Oh, I can only imagine
What they
that.
think their boundary is versus what it really is. We've been getting cities like, that's not ours, and Lake Rose's like, that's ours, and I'm like, no, it's not.
DJ, of this HLA, trying to figure out name of officer. Do you want that to be?
That's you.
Of officer?
Yeah. That's you, all the other ones
Okay, you'll fill out the rest of this.
were done by the chairmans. Were signed by. Thank you. Then the other,
Yeah, board documents here.
yeah, but there was the rate resolution, where did it go?
I think it got put in, did it get stuck in there?
In here?
Should be in there.
As long as we're talking about things to talk about, we really need to do work on the surface water protection stuff. As Stafford gets more and more likely to have portions of it developed, the portion that's likely to develop first is going to be along Borland Road,
Oh, it's right there.
and that will be very close, if not into our recharge zones. So we need to start thinking about that. Because I don't know what leverage we have as a water district.
I mean, that whole area behind Wankers,
As you go down Moreland.
yeah, there's like a nursery
Shed
down
it,
there.
yep,
Is
yep,
that whole
yep.
area gonna be, homes?
No, it would be businesses.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's the way it looks now. There may be some housing above stores and that sort of thing, mixed use. But mostly they're looking at campus, what do they call it?
Like a
Campus
cruise
industrial-
way type
Yes,
place? Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
That's what they're thinking about,
That breakfast.
with a limited amount of commercial.
That'd be good.
July 9th.
That would have, the only problem is traffic is just
Well, that
I mean,
circle,
if you're
that
thinking-
circle was a.
Thinking
really
of going,
great
I
thing.
It was.
could register
We should put a circle at
you
the
guys.
end of, Child when it hits.
Huh?
that.
They're talking about that, but the problem is,
Not enough
I don't
property.
have enough.
yeah,
I
you have
figured
to
I would
way
go.
into the dough, and they
I'll,
can't figure
I'll
it
know
out.
this afternoon whether I can
You got
go,
all the different elevations.
you know, give you
But
a
they could
call.
use it on there.
Oh, yeah,
Let me stick-
that would be much better
So we're talking about with water health protection,
with wellhead
and
protection.
wait till next week.
Well, we're,
So I
well,
can
hopefully
tell.
we'll know
Yeah.
some more on the source grant, so. Because then we plan to get it, you know.
Yeah, so, it's more just a FYI.
Are we gonna talk about dihydrogen monoxide?
It's a dangerous subject, John.
I will tell you that our fair weather operator friend that went to nationals in the Tacoma Forest Grove team, they didn't even make it to the third round, and so I think karma's a bitch, you know?
Yes,
You know what dihydrogen monoxide is, right? You don't? It's the leading ingredient in pesticides. Serial killers have been known to drink it. Those who come in contact with it also die.
100%, right?
100%, yeah. It's water.
That's good.
Almost okay. Let's adjourn the meeting at 9:04.
9:04.